Good evening, everybody, and I'm Craig Smith. I'm from Europa Property Magazines. I'm here with Tom Barnhart, who's organizing the U.S. Europe Shared Services Summit and Awards. We're the international media partners here, and we'll be distributing our Europa Property office guides here, which is covering Central Europe. Tom, thank you for coming and joining us today, and we're happy again to sponsor this event, and great to hear that you're promoting Central Eastern Europe in New York.
That's great. I'm glad to have you doing the interview again, although I think you're a different person. You've lost 22 kilos, I think, in your boxing. We want to hear about the boxing a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. We'll talk about that later, probably. So the event is June 20th this year.
June 20th in New York City, at the New York Athletic Club. It's our second year coming around, and we are, as you mentioned, targeting the U.S. companies who have already invested in the Central European market for the shared services, BPO outsourcing. And of course, the U.S. companies who have not yet done that, but are looking at cost savings, at consolidation of back offices. And we think there are hundreds of such companies out there that still remain, that are either from the Fortune 500 or in the Russell 2000 smaller companies.
Great.
Who also have yet to explore this opportunity.
And you're talking to all of them, I assume, or trying to.
We're trying to talk to all of them, not talking to all, but trying to talk to all of them, and have had good access to many of them. But it is hard work to get them. But the guys who we do talk to understand that there is major cost savings and major opportunities if they're looking at setting up operations in Central East Europe.
So tell us a little bit about the program. How do you how is the day going to go?
Yeah, it's set for 20th of June, which is a Wednesday, New York Athletic Club, and we start the day in the morning with a breakfast, VIP breakfast, and we have a full day agenda. We're talking a bit about some of the locations in Central East Europe across the region, benefits and opportunities in those locations. Then we get into some case studies of existing U.S. companies who have set up operations here in the last year or two.
Okay.
And that's really perhaps the most important, because they're the peer-to-peer conversations.
Right.
They want to hear, particularly U.S. companies want to hear from other U.S. companies.
What's happening.
Who've already invested. That's going to be the real story. What's working well, what's not working well, what issues they've got. And that's an important part of the day. We, of course, as well have a big topic on RPA robotics. The automation is a major league in this sector and transforming the sector all the time. So that's also part of the day. And then we finish with a location focus on 4 or 5 of the more attractive locations for Central Europe right now.
Oh, great. Yeah. So who are the most successful companies in doing this shared services or setting up, or if you could name 4 or 5 companies already that people would know the names of that are already here and really doing it?
Well, I can mention what we're doing for the jury, because that might suggest who they are.
Oh, great. Yeah. So tell us who's on the jury from the international.
We got on the jury like last year. We got about, this year, about 29 jury members. Last year we had about 18. So we are having again this year Morgan Stanley on the jury. We've got State Street coming on the jury again, NASDAQ on the jury, Cisco, Citibank on the jury. Groupon is new this year.
Oh, great. Okay.
Becton Dickinson in again. Johnson & Johnson out of Prague in again. We'll have a couple from U.S. companies who are in Romania. We'll have a couple that are in Hungary as well. Flowserve, I hope, will be in again this year. And for this particular year, we also have the CPA Institute, which is the Association of U.S. CPAs, which, if you know who that is, that if you're a CPA, if you're a CFO or treasurer in the U.S., you almost have to be a CPA.
Yeah, certified public accountant, licensed.
Exactly. So we're very pleased to have those guys also as a partner this coming year.
Oh, great. Well, I see Eric is saying hi to us. Hey, Eric, I hope you're coming to this event. There's definitely a lot of clients here for you. Okay, so tell us about the U.S. companies that are coming there that are not yet here.
Yeah. Well, those are companies that are in the mid-market U.S. companies, which typically are still billion-dollar companies that are mostly unheard of here.
Yeah, small companies.
A great example is in Gdańsk was Arrow Electronics. It set up just about a year ago in Gdańsk. $15 billion company. You probably never heard of them.
Right.
Not many have. Out of Denver, Colorado. We were at the offices of them last year. But those type of mid-level, mid-market companies, or the bottom tier of the Fortune 500 are coming because, look, if they've got a cost structure that's in the $10 million to $100 million range, and if they can squeeze out 10 to 15% of it, it's worth their trip to New York City. To meet everyone from Central East Europe.
Yeah, exactly. And they'll definitely save a lot of money in the future.
Yeah.
Now, who's sponsoring this event?
Well, the partners and the sponsors are a range of locations. We have the city of the Gdańsk, Gdynia, Pomerania investment agency back again this year. For the first time, we have Wrocław agency, which is the ARAF agency coming in from southwestern Poland, very dynamic area for inward investment for BPO, shared services, and ITO. We've got the city of Łódź coming in this year for the first time. We think we'll have the country of Hungary HIPA in. Looks like they'll be back in. Slovakia is certainly in. For the first time, we have the country of Greece coming as a Southeast Europe partner, and Greece has recently really discovered that this is a major driver of employment.
Right, so it's not only about tourism in Greece now. They're actually bringing. They want to bring some shared services business there.
Very much, because it's a great place to live, of course, and they have a very high unemployment among the youth.
Right.
And this sector needs well-qualified young people who are smart and have good educational level and good language skills.
Right, excellent. So interesting. So we have Southeastern Europe, Central Eastern Europe. Of course, I assume a few from Bulgaria, a few from Romania also coming in. Some of the developers and I guess the office building owners that want to lease some space as well.
Also in some of the advisors as well. PwC is coming in with a table for 10 again. We hope Deloitte will do the same thing. Transparent is in once again for a table for 10, and about 3 or 4 others. Vistra is also in this year once again. So pretty good return numbers.
And the Polish PAIA, the Polish.
Yes.
I'm not sure if you mentioned that.
Yeah, PAI, the Polish investment agency is in as well. So that's a first for us. Glad to have them there present. Important one as well.
Yeah, it's good to see they're so active. So tell us a little bit about the nominations, a couple of some of the newer categories that you just launched, and the deadlines for this.
The deadline for nominations is 30 April.
So so coming up.
A little about 2 weeks from now. And we expect about 75 nominations in total. We've got 12 categories. And of those categories, 2 or 3 are particularly interesting and new. The top robotics RPA is a really interesting, dynamic sector, growing very fast. We've already got quite a few nominations in for RPA, very fast growing. The other sector that's new for us, we've got the top U.S. financial SSC investor in Central Europe.
Oh, good, okay.
And that's kind of a testament to the
that
U.S.
could be heating up. There's a lot of big players in that sector
Morgan,
now.
Morgan Stanley, you've got Goldman Sachs is in, so quite a strong category there. And then we also have, for the first time this year, top CSR initiative of the year.
Oh, good. Okay.
Because that has been also important that these companies are in almost every case really contributing to the local market, giving money back, giving opportunities back to the local industry.
Oh, excellent. Okay, good. Well, good that we have the Polish federal government in as well, and interested in looking at that. Now, if they want to buy tickets, and I know it's on. I typed it in, but it's also, what is the website to buy tickets or find out more about sponsoring?
SharedServicesEurope.com.
SharedServicesEurope.com.
But I want to also add one more thing about the U.S. side, because the real point of all this is to make sure that we tap into the U.S. investors who are the most important to reach those guys. And we've got about 25 of those U.S. companies coming that are confirmed so far. And these are, again, middle-sized companies looking to invest. They're all very difficult to find. They're often in different small cities across the country.
Small cities like Denver.
Not so big. LA, Las Vegas.
Yeah, sure.
But we're also pushing hard to promote this in the U.S. So we're using, again, our U.S. Business Journal contacts from last year. That's 43 U.S. business journals, important. We've got select niche sponsors and media partners for different types of sectors like software development, for, again, robotics, different categories that are interesting.
So the business journals in the U.S. are sending it out to all their readers, and I mean, they must have a few million or something.
6 million. 6 million business readers. And that's on all of their calendar websites. Right. So at bizjournals.com. Right. And pick a city, and you'll see our listing there on every one of those.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, tell us. Okay, so I think we got everything there covered. Great. You're going to have a bunch of these mid-level companies from the U.S. or mid-sized companies coming from the U.S. It sounds like you've already got 20 and building on them from there. Now, I understand you're also doing an event on the 18th, 2 days before digital marketing, digital matchmaking.
It's called USA CEE, Digital Services Matchmaking, which really means software IT services. But I've been told that I shouldn't call it that anymore.
Right, okay.
It's digital these days.
Right, digital.
Everything's digital.
Okay. So tell us a bit about that and who should be coming to it.
We also had a couple of guys came last year from California who ended up in New York last year at the event and said they would really want to meet some of the digital service guys and software service providers. And I said, you're in the wrong event. It's not here. This is the bigger companies, the shared services companies. And as we kept talking, we realized that there's a huge demand and a huge gap between U.S. companies that are development companies, software development companies who need software help developing apps, different things, and Central East European companies who are looking for U.S. clients.
Right.
They're typically the higher margin clients, and so there's a huge gap between this. So there has not been a platform for those two groups to meet, and so that's what we're trying to do, create a meeting platform for that particular
So Silicon
group.
Valley companies that want to sell in the U.S. but outsource a little bit of it to Central Eastern Europe.
They are selling in the U.S. Their clients are in the U.S. and they need help developing apps. So, for example, someone said, "I need a mobile app done for PepsiCo. I need it done within the next 30 days. Get it done."
Right.
And the guy in California has got the business and says, "Uh-oh, what am I going to do now?"
Right.
So he calls up his guy in Bucharest or Budapest and Warsaw and says, "Let's get it done."
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So so the U.S. companies can meet these guys, these Central Eastern European guys.
And the reason we're doing it on the 18th and not the 19th, which would be the obvious day, is that on the 19th and 20th is a major event that most people in Central East Europe don't know about, which is called Developer Week New York. And this is a group out of California, out of Silicon Valley, have done the event in Silicon Valley for many years, plus Austin, Texas, a hive of IT activity. And this is their second year in New York City. So what we'll do is those who come in on the 18th to our event will roll into their event evening cocktail parties on the 19th in Brooklyn.
Oh, great.
A full day. So
that
it's a very efficient way.
Like a good...
They've got 3,000 companies coming to New York for that week. So it's a really efficient way for companies to...
And can they buy a ticket on your digital matchmaking on the same website, or how do they...
Actually, it's a different website. It's called ceedigitalservices.com, but they can probably find
it from there. Yeah,
or exactly. Email me.
And I know on in May 23rd, you're also going to Las Vegas for a big expo there to talk to more U.S. cities that are also going to be attending.
Yes, we've also realized that part of the attraction for the U.S. companies, they are often coming here to attract increasingly Polish companies or Central European companies, IT especially, who want to set up in the U.S. And so we're going there, Las Vegas, courtesy of your event. So thanks for that. That ticket.
Sure, always happy.
But there are going to be 100 U.S. cities there looking for inward investment.
And so 37,000 people registered as of today. Yeah, so it's a big group.
I'll pop in for Vegas for 2 days and out again.
Right, excellent. Yeah. Well, no, it sounds exciting. Can't wait to come. And well done and promoting Central Eastern Europe once again in the U.S. And we're happy to be media partners there. And
you're gonna be there after your boxing match.
Probably.
You're gonna win.
We'll see
win,
how.
by the way?
We'll see how. Yeah, for sure gonna win.
Get your hands up there.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
he's doing white collar boxing. When is it?
May 19th.
May 19th.
Yeah, so
he's the oldest guy fighting. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah. Great. Okay. See you at the next event.